Hi everyone, I'm just going to do a quick walk around of my fish tank, just some of the settings I've got and some of the setups to do with the hardware. So what I'm going to initially try to do is take out some of the items in the tank, like the heater and the diffuser on the left here, so it's going to be more space for the fish, and it's a bit ugly looking at heaters. I do have a hydro external filter, an external heater which I'm going to use, which is going to go down at the side, just down here later on, and there it is there. I haven't put it on yet, but that's going to come next. So the tank is a 55 gallon tank. I've just recently started using a pressurized CO2 system, which you can see just over the left hand side there with the micro diffuser. I wouldn't say it was great, it's doing the job, and the drop checker is green, but what I've been getting over the last few days, I've just bought a pH meter which is plugged into my CO2 system, which I'll show you shortly, and it seems to be working a lot better. So I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks I'm going to get me internal diffuser, which is going to go on the green pipe at the back, so it'll diffuse the CO2 a lot better. You can see the little bubbles, they're making their way over to here, and it's got good circulation, so it is working. I mean, pH is pretty much steady. I've been taking a few notes of just different times of the day and the pH, and what I've got here is it's pretty much staying stable at about 7.3, going down to 7.15 in the night time. So it's not fluctuating a great deal, and the CO2 comes on and off when it needs, so I'm quite happy with that. I've just recently had some of these moss balls, and Marimo balls, which I bought. I've got 5 of those, quite large, about 2.5 inch, 3 inch diameter. They seem to be working really good. There's a shrimp just sat on one of them. It's a Cameroon shrimp, and I've got some bamboo shrimp over that rock there, and there's another Cameroon shrimp somewhere hiding under there. So what I'm trying to do is slowly build like a planted tank up, so I'm slowly adding things. Since I put the CO2 system on, my plants have just gone mental, especially the one at the back there. Swordtail, the Amazon sword, is struggling a bit, but I've just bought some pellets which I'm going to plant under the substrate or the sand. Hopefully that'll pick them back up again. So yeah, and one other thing to mention, I've done a change in my filter last night, my canister filter, and when I was doing the clean, I found 2 of me being sucked into the pot here. Sucked 2 tiny little fry in. There's one there, you can just see. He was in, and there's another one somewhere. But they were both sucked in, so I put that little net back over. And like I say, I'm surprised it's so far, but I don't know how long they've been in there. There's the other one just there at the top. So they were sucked in. So I got them back out and survived and put them back in. They're fine. So I would recommend it's quite a fine mesh on there to begin with, but that extra little mesh has just made it a bit more safer for them. So let's have a little look at under the tank. We'll start from the top actually. At the top we have, when I bought this tank, it had big long tubes in, and a ballast. It didn't work, it broke, so I've replaced all my lights with LEDs. I've just bought the cheap ones from eBay and Amazon, and I have 6 LEDs, white LEDs, and 1 blue one. So the white one, you do have another white one running along here. These ones are about 18 centimeters, and I've got another 2 on the other side. So you can see as I lift, I'm not going to lift it up, but on that side I'll lift that one up, there's another 2 plus a blue one. Work great. They're only using about a watt each, 1.5 watt each. Not a great deal. The blue one's just up there, you see blue tinge, and I've got them turned on and off at different times, so they're working absolutely amazing. And they're on about 10 hours a day. I might reduce that again later on. So, looking down here under the tank, what we've got, I'll just put the light on a sec. One other thing I've just bought, I bought a light system to go underneath, and it's just a light which goes under a strip light under here, LEDs. If you turn it on, you can have different colours, which I find really nice in the night time. It also illuminates where I'm working, so you've got blues and different hues and greens and all sorts of things. So I'll leave it on a light one so you can see what I'm doing. And it's a full remote control, so I think I paid about £15 for it, which is nothing really. And I look underneath, you can see it there, and it's just a remote control there. And again, it's off one of those sockets which uses about less than an amp. Really good. So let's have a look then. If you're looking on the left here, I have all my sockets for my lights, which runs off a timer to the bottom. So the timer's at the back of there, so they'll come on. Two will come on at about 10 o'clock in the morning, and another two will come on at about 12 o'clock, and then the other final two comes on about 2 o'clock. So they're getting a good, because I like the lights to be on when I'm at home at night time. So I find that useful. And they start to go off two at a time. So eventually by about 12 o'clock at night, they're all off, and everything else gets switched off. So that's the lights. Start off at the bottom. We have my main particle filter. This one's an all-point solution. I'll just try to get in a bit tighter. So all-point solution. It's just a particle filter. And here we've got coarse foam, medium foam, and fine and polishing pads just in the top there. And that's all that's full of. You can see it comes in there, goes through the bottom, comes through the top. It's got taps on, so when you're doing your water change, or when you're doing your canister filter change, it's just a matter of off, and there's no dripping. It's nice and tight, and that's where I found the fish in here in the bottom. It's amazing how it survived, so I was lucky I'd done that. Don't know how long they've been in, but they survived anyway. So really good. I would recommend one of these. I'm thinking about buying a second one actually. As it comes through, it goes through the top into the main canister filter, comes up to the bottom, and then exits out up to the top where you can see it coming in there. Nice good flow. That's 1,000 litres an hour. Again, all-point solutions. Excellent filter. I would recommend it. I do have two of these. One's the ultraviolet filter, this one's UV, and the other one's not, so I changed over to UV. The reason why I kept the other one is because if any internals fail, all I've got to do is go upstairs, get the other part and put it straight on, so there's no worries about that. So what I've got in here is there's baskets, and I've took all the old stuff out where it came with, different pads and media and ceramic discs and balls and things, and all I've put in is high quality media. So it's full of I think it's called Bio Ultra Home. I bought it from Time Valley Aquatics, and it's so big. It's like round like a tube, and it's ceramic, but it's got you can break it into bits, and it supports your aerobic bacteria and your anaerobic bacteria. So that's doing a really good job. I'm just full to the brim with that, and I have no problem with me ammonia levels or my nitrate and things. Everything's zero. So that's that taken care of. Really good filter. I am going to fit my diffuser, which is going to be just round, basically at the back. So I'll have a diffuser. I'll do another video on that. But again, silent, no bother at all. I've had that for about a year. Works perfect. I would recommend that. Again, it wasn't expensive, £70, £60, something like that. This was about 20, which is, I really recommend that. So once a week I change that. I never change that. If I check it now, it'll still be clean. All the media's still clean. Nothing gets through this thing here. So that's the main thing. I don't use carbon, even though I've got some carbon there. I don't use that. Bought it, but I never use it. For emergencies. And there's a spare UV lamp and pump there. So looking at the top, we've got our air supply. I have two. There's only one on at a time, At the minute that number 1's on, number 2's off, and I'll just switch them over once a week just to let one cool down, and if I ever need to service it as a backup system as well. I'm also running a backup power supply system, which is a computer power supply system. This one's APC, and it's this side of it where you see the one plug, that's my canister filter, which is this thing here. That's my canister filter, so that's the plug for it. That one, which I can see. These two are just auxiliary ones. So if the power goes out, it will keep this thing going for, I've had over 7 hours out of it. And it just keeps, all the lights and everything goes out, it just keeps me bacteria sorted for that. So CO2 goes off, everything goes off apart from my pump. So I'm getting a bit of aeration there, so I'm not really bothered about that. Works really good. Would definitely recommend that. So my pH meter, which I've just bought recently. The model number is PH2010. It's made in China, like most things are, and it seems to be working really good for me at the moment. It's been about a week now, and it's dead easy to operate. You've got a button for pH, which it's reading now, and you've got set. So if you flick it across, it tells you what you want to set it to come on and go off. So, and you've got a plastic screwdriver, which just goes in to there, and you can adjust it. Calibration at this side, never needed it. I calibrate it with the solution, so you've got some solution there, which is at 7. So if you fill this little tub, pop it on the end of the sensor, which is that blue thing just there at the top corner. Take it out, wash it, fill for the solution, and then do your test. I've just done a normal test with the API kit, and it seems to be okay. So the water's corresponding with that. Happy with that. So that's working really good. Obviously, time will tell whether it works for a long time. It's a BNC connector, which just goes on the bottom there, and that goes into the mains, and the CO2 plugs into that. So I've got a solenoid at the back, which goes into the back of your pH meter. As you can see, I'm running about 3 or 4 bubbles a second, but to be honest, I just go by that. So that's controlling it, it'll give it what it needs. I've got plenty of oxygen in the water, so the fish are not showing any signs of. I'm keeping a good eye on them. They're all happy. Everyone's happy really. Got some clown loaches under there, which are digging holes in the bottom of the tank in the sand. So yeah, that works really good. I can't remember the make of this one, but I'll try to find it later on. But it's just a copy from China. Works fine. You've got your high pressure there, which is set to about 900 psi, and the low pressure is set to, the full range is 1 psi, so that's 0.2. Yeah, and you got your fan adjuster there, and I've just got a solution. I just use water, and I'll change that every couple of weeks. It's fine, it's full of CO2 anyway, so nothing's going to go in there. I did have to buy an adapter, which I think was about £12, so I can use I do paintball, so I'm okay there. So I've used my paintball 20-ounce cylinder adapter, which goes on to the normal regulator. Not much more I can say about that really. I do have a spare battery powered pump in case we get power outages, and there's a spare filter, spare heater, and that's about it, guys. If you've got any questions about the system, just back off a bit so you can see it. Seems to be working really good. No problems at all with it. But I would recommend the canister filter for your sponges rather than filling this full of sponges. All I have in here is media and a polishing pad, top and bottom, and that's it. So nothing can really get my finger. So nothing really get into there. And I check that once a month, and it's clean. Doesn't even need rinsing out. The media's the water and the media. There's no gunk in there. What I sometimes might have to do is use a long brush to go down the tubing, with the tube which runs down, and I'll clean that a little bit. But to be honest, once I put my UV filter on, now I only put my UV light on for a week on, week off, week on, week off, and it seems to be fine. The water is crystal clear and no problem at all. But I have got another review of my external heater to go shortly, and my external diffuser. Okay guys, thanks for watching.